on behalf of the Board of Exhibition Park and Exhibition Park in general. I am a board member, and Bev Lance, sitting over here in the front of the room, is a board member as well. And thank you very much for coming and hearing our presentation today. It's great to get the word out, and SACPA, of course, is an important and impactful organization in our community, so thanks for coming. And we'll have a few speakers today, but I'd like to introduce Rudy Friesen, is our CEO for Exhibition Park, and he's got a few things to say to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Exhibition Park. It's a pleasure to have you here. I know it's a little bit of a change of venue for you, but we'd like to welcome you here, and we look forward to giving you some information about what we're currently working on. It's been a number of years since we presented at SACPA. I remember being in the basement over at the Keg, the old Ericssons, talking about Exhibition Park development, and we're going to give you an update on the stuff that's happened since then, and also the work that we're currently undertaking. But I think it's important for us to share with you as a little bit of a reminder of the work that we've done over the last number of years. And in a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Workington to talk a little, or Mike Wuchterl, sorry. We have too many MWs working for us, but we managed to sort it out on a numerical system, which means absolutely nothing to you, so I won't use it. We're undertaking some fairly significant work, but in advance of that, when I turn it over to Mike Wuchterl, he'll do a great reminder for you of some of the demands that we've seen as an industry and how those demands have translated into a conceptual design that we've shared with the community over the last number of years, and then we'll talk a little bit about the work that we're currently undertaking. As you may know, we're currently operating with $2.2 million in government funding. $1.1 million of that came from the city of Lethbridge. A matching $1.1 came from the province of Alberta, and that funding is for the purpose of taking our project from a conceptual design to having design documents ready to go to tender. So that's currently the work that we're undertaking, but in advance of that, I'll turn it over to Mike Wuchterl to talk to you and refresh your memory about the concept and where it came from. Mike?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rudy. Mike's just grabbing the lights for me there. Perfect. Thank you. Alrighty, so as Rudy mentioned, my name is Mike Wuchterl. I'm the Supervisor of Marketing and Sales here at Exhibition Park. He kind of briefly explained what we're here to do today, so I won't take too much of your time. We'll kind of dive right into it here. So Exhibition Park exists to provide the people of Lethbridge and District with an agricultural and community gathering place at which to participate in events, conduct business, learn, and be entertained. It's a great shot of our midway from Thursday night last year, Whoop Up Days. That's where we discount our ride tickets there, and you can see our midways looking nice and busy. That's just the way we like to see it. Formerly in the past, regarding our Exhibition Park development project, we've really kind of hammered home our economic impact and our sustainability as an organization. We kind of hit the reset button here, things we're very much so still proud of, but we wanted to focus on what we truly do as an organization. So let's talk a little bit about that. Fun. The big giant blue and yellow slide at Whoop Up Days, if you haven't ridden it at least once, you sure need to. It'll be back this year, so you can plan to get your shot at it this year. Home and Garden Show. This was the top landscape exhibitor from last year's show. As you can see why here. Our landscape exhibitors do an unbelievable job making our pavilions look pretty spectacular during the Home and Garden Show. Our grounds is a great place to come, hang out with your friends, socialize, eat. Whether you're attending a farmer's market, hanging out, sampling products, or attending Whoop Up Days and picking out there on elephant ears and the good stuff on the midway. Education. This is one of my personal favorite events that we execute as an organization. This is UFA Aggie Days. It's a 2-day agricultural trade show where we invite hundreds of schools, thousands of kids, even the general public into our venue here, and we basically get them up close and personal with the Southern Alberta agricultural industry, whether it's interacting with live farm animals, learning power, farm safety, or just learning something simple as to how chickens lay eggs. This is a great shot of 2 years ago, TP Village. Last year, we morphed it into what we call now the multicultural stage. A reason we wanted to kind of morph that into that is we wanted to create a platform for Southern Alberta at our live, obviously, community event like Whoop Up Days, where we can kind of showcase all of our talents within our area and our region. And this year was definitely a great area for family, friends, and those organizations to showcase what they truly do here in our region. This was from 2 years ago as well, when we wheeled in the big stages in front of the grandstands there. It was a separate paid ticket. That stage fit really nice in there. It was a really, really unique experience for those in attendance. Farm Credit Canada is our biggest and best Egg Expo client. Every year they approach us asking for more space, whether it's a VIP meeting breakout space or just to make their booth a little bit bigger to draw those wondering eyes in the trade show. It's a great place for them to interact with their clients as well as share their story here in Southern Alberta. Celebrations, our 92-year-old, or I like to say 92 years young, Heritage Hall doing its thing. There isn't a day throughout the summer on a Friday, Saturday you'll see this venue open. It's really kind of become a top venue for weddings in Southern Alberta, as you can see why here. Catering, nice chunk of meat here from our food services department. Commerce. This is a great shot of one of our local bee honey vendors sampling their product at the downtown farmers market. The downtown farmers market, or even the exhibition farmers market, always a popular event. People are always excited when it comes, and there's always a couple tears when it goes away as well. Community, it's a great shot of Mayor Chris Spearman riding on the back of our float here at last year's Whoop Up Day Parade. Also in attendance there in the cart with him is Mike Davis, and on the other side of Mike Davis is Rudy Friesen's cowboy hat you can see there. And last but not least, agriculture. This is my personal favorite picture because, yes, I did risk my life for it. You'll notice there is snow in the background there. There was snow on the roof. I climbed up on the roof just to kind of give you a grand scale to what we call Machinery Row. It's approximately 250,000 square feet of outdoor agricultural equipment. You can kind of see the little heads bobbing around down there, but even this picture doesn't do it justice. When you're down in the mix there, it's definitely a sight to see. So in reality, I'd love to pull out the photo book or even the videos there and start sharing our story, and we could be here all day. But in reality, Exhibition Park has come to a bit of a crossroads here, where our past has kind of met our present, and we're trying here to hammer on forward and plan our future. So let's move forward here. Some of the highlights at Exhibition Park. So we're currently 121 years old. It'll be 3 years here in November. I'm still trying to really grasp my head around the history here as an organization. There's definitely never a lack of content to share on Throwback Thursday, that's for sure. 851 annual visitors, or as I like to say, annual smiles. Some year-round facility rental numbers for you here. So in a 365-day calendar year, last year we had 1,865 rental days. This gives you an idea as to kind of the capacity our current venue is at. We've serviced over 572 clients in 2017 and just over 1,500 exhibitors as well. Some of the highlights continued. We currently employ 31 full-time employees, and we write out approximately 300 T4s annually when you factor in doubling up our casuals and our event help when we do execute events. We operate with 350 annual volunteers, everyone from our board of directors to people executing our 50-50 draws to people working our information booths. So thank you to everybody involved, because we definitely would not be who we are or be able to do what we do without our loyal volunteers. So thank you. And then our 8 signature events, or our signature events, something that we're very, very proud of. Some of the staples being our Egg Expo show, our Home and Garden, obviously our farmers markets, our Whoop Up Days, and then our one just around the corner here is our big Christmas farmers market as well. Something I said we weren't going to talk about, but I just thought I'd mention for the second time, is the fact that we are an economic driver in the Southern Alberta region and our sustainability as an organization. It is worth mentioning. And we've been on our existing site since 1910, which leads us into the next slide here of what we know. So Exhibition Park currently has 120,000 square feet of indoor space, but most of our buildings are considered past their useful life, or at this point, renovations aren't considered ideal. So let me just do the next slide here. So with the exception of the newer main pavilion, so you see it located at the bottom here, 18 years old. Our main pavilion is the long back alley kind of feeling pavilion you guys can all relate to. So if we take the main pavilion out, our average facilities ranging 30 to 92 years in age with an average age of 56 years old. And why I really like this slide is, number one, it does show our growth as an organization, but it also shows how reactionary our growth as an organization is. A lot of times, like for instance, the West Pavilion, I believe Rudy can probably touch to this. I believe the original plan when it was built and brought into our community was for indoor soccer. And you can see plans change, needs change. But what's really great about this slide is it is what it is. It's just the age of our buildings, and obviously they're continuing to get older as we move forward. Moving into what we hear on the streets here. So this is not so much our thoughts as an organization as it is as exhibitors, clients, general public, people coming to us and basically not demands as much as needs. Our community needs are growing, and these are just some of the things that we've acknowledged as an organization as some of the needs of our community. So demand for new events or increased programming. So currently we kind of touched on our current rental days in a 365-day calendar year. When we look at expanding our events, we just don't have those extra weekends available. At the same time, to try and plan a big or an exciting event or even a wedding, not very many people want to get married on a Wednesday. Lack of exhibitor areas and available space for visitors. So we touched on Egg Expo, for instance, a great client like FCC. Every year they come to us asking and requesting more booth space. We have to get creative with our space or try and find new ways to use our venue. But for us, our biggest example for them leads into our poor trade show layouts and event layouts. So what that means is we kind of touched on how some of these pavilions weren't built for trade shows. And basically, trade shows is exactly what we do. So when we get into mapping and we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's, no matter how hard we try and plan these booths, when we get into the actual execution of the event, we're always left with that awkward, unsaleable, unusable space, and it's just something we can't get around. And then there's also the limited to no additional meeting/breakout space. So I touched on FCC wanting to make their booth bigger, number one. But if you ever also have attended Egg Expo in the South Pavilion here and noticed up in the corners in the bleachers, we have what we call the FCC VIP lounge. The VIP lounge consists of pipe and drape, a kitchen table, a couch, a cooler, and some food. But basically, that's our only way to kind of give some extra VIP space to our clients to offer them that place to do business within the event. And it's something that our event really struggles with, to have that opportunity to offer that existing space to other clients as well. So moving forward here, pedestrian access. If you've ever tried to access our park during Whoop Up days, our gates are already smaller than they should be. So we have 3 arches currently, and in the 3 arches, we make 2 entryways. And in the 2 entryways, we even shove a 3rd one in there to try and get 3 rows of traffic coming into our park. And what that does is it creates a lot of congestion. So before these event goers are even entering our park, they're already kind of having a bad event, or not the best event experience with our parking or even accessing our park. Not to mention our community neighbors and the houses we share our neighborhood with. They can't access their driveways. We're blocking roads to Henderson Park, and we just can't get people into our park fast enough. And when we do have that congestion, it creates a lot of confusion, a lot of cars. At the same time, pedestrians are very much so at risk during that time because we don't have those clean-cut site pedestrian lines. And then lastly, I kind of touched on already, was the park entrances and gate locations backing up along Northside Drive as well as Southside Drive as well. Which brings us to here. I realized there was a slide there, but we want to maintain transparency within the community and really kind of speak to our community needs, which leads us to this slide here where Rudy's kind of touched on where we've been given the 2.2 of what's next at the X. So let's dive into it here and show you guys what we've been working on.
Welcome to the X Solution. YQL's Exhibition Park Trade Center is an astonishing 250,000 square feet. The northwest corner and former location of Henderson Lake Campground encompasses a grand entrance and communal gathering place with extravagant lake views. Stepped plazas are incorporated along the west side of the building, complementing the lake elevation change. Breakout rooms are located inside the north open span space and designed in a way to also allow for size, function, and flexibility. Backhouse functions are accessed at the east side of the building in order to segregate pedestrian traffic from vehicular functions. The North Gateway, or main access, also features second-floor multi-size meeting rooms, which double as an animated facade and urban exterior edge to Pioneer Park. The primary north entrance of the building will serve as a passenger pickup and drop-off area, while the south gateway will provide secondary access. All entrances are handicap accessible. Phase 1 of the project is planned on a regular structural grid and orientated so pre-function spaces are facing west to take advantage of the views to Henderson Lake. Strategically placed north and south gates decrease wait times and increase traffic flow. A beautified grand courtyard plays host to elegant weddings and large outdoor events. The south-facing sawtooth enhances the ability of the building design to respond to solar heat gain through passive building strategies, including solar shading and solar harvesting. The refreshing and modern architectural design will propel Lethbridge and Southern Alberta trade shows into the now. With an 8,000 square foot industrial kitchen capable of serving up to 2,000 hot meals, 172,000 square feet of subdividable trade show space, 30 to 40 foot ceilings with oversized bay doors, 25,000 square feet of meeting and convention space, and 10,000 square feet of lobby and common areas. The linear spine pre-function space will also feature an additional south entrance, ensuring ease of access and exceptional event flow. A series of storefront entrances are located along the west spine. Separate entries can be established to accommodate multiple live, simultaneous events. Want more? Join, support the X-Solution.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about the naming of the project, X-Solution.ca. X-Solution by definition means a release, a setting free, or obsolete. So we found it only fitting here that we named the Exhibition Park Development Project after X-Solution. If you head to X-Solution.ca, you'll notice that you can find more information regarding our project. We're very much so still garnering support. So if you head to the support tab, you can register your support as a #1 priority build in Lethbridge. Also, if you're looking for the video or to share some of the project information, you can find all of that information on X-Solution.ca. At this time, I believe we normally open it up to a site tour. You guys are getting a little bit of a VIP treatment here, so we're going to break for lunch, I believe, and then we're going to reconvene for some questions here after that. Alrighty, thank you.